What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to this week's movie, episode 123. Just a small heads up. After this, we're gonna take a 2-3 weeks off. I need a break. I just want to regroup and come up with some ideas for some other content. And honestly, I want to actually take some time off. My wife finally got a job, so I have the luxury of actually taking a little bit of time off. I'm getting my week off of my birthday from Alamo as well, so I'm actually taking some time off. So, but I want to work on some content slowly and at my own pace. So if you don't see us on this format for a couple of weeks, have no fear. I assume we will be back. I don't know. I'm assuming so. So, yeah, we checked out in 2022, the last year. I think it was last year. Hulu brought us a movie with Sebastian Stan, an actor that I like quite a bit. And it was a horror movie with a guy that I was pretty familiar with and honestly would like to watch more of. So I thought, oh, that's cool. And the trailer was kind of strange. It's called Fresh. That's what we watched this week. That's what we're talking about. So this was Hugh's pick. I'm assuming, am I the only one that had seen this one yet?
I watched it one time before. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was your reason for picking it this time, Hugh?
Have you guys seen it? Josh and Chris, you guys hadn't seen it yet,
I hadn't seen it.
Nope. Yeah, nice. I don't know. It speaks a lot to, I think, a lot of people in terms of like if you're dating and single and, if you've ever tried dating apps before, sort of the vulnerabilities associated with putting yourself out there. You're always like hoping and praying you don't end up with a maniac. And, some people do apparently. And then not just a maniac, but the cannibal maniac. So, but
alert.
Yeah. But I think even the first date was entertaining to me when she goes on this really awkward date with the guy and it's just atrocious, and he's telling her like, oh, you'd really look better in a dress, kind of your women. And one of the things I like that he does, I thought was so funny, is when he's like, am I right? Am I right? Do you see me? Like, am I right? He's like trying to gain agreement from her, and she's just like sitting there just like, whatever, dude.
Making her pay cash.
Yeah. Make sure you bring cash. Jesus.
Dude, that was my favorite part of the whole movie because I know people like that.
He talks to the Asian waitress. He's like, sparkling water, bubble, sparkles. He's like,
lemon. Yeah.
I want to keep all the leftovers too. He wanted to keep all the.
Dude, that guy sucks.
My God.
And then he calls her a bitch when he leaves.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Actually, that part was the funniest part, dude. When he's like, all right, you stuck up bitch. I was like, let's go.
But like, if you've dated at all in the world, I'm sure it's different for men than women, but you just occasionally have that ridiculous train wreck. And so, it's relatable. It was entertaining. Sebastian Stan's a man. In this movie, I thought some of his really more sinister lines that he delivers with a smile were just pretty effective. I don't know, man. What'd you guys think of it?
I watched it twice. I love this movie.
Yeah.
This is fantastic movie. One of the best horror movies in the last few years because it's so unique. I think it's unique. To take a topic that's not unique and make a unique movie is kind of difficult, I would imagine. So I thought there was a lot of things that are pretty tried and true, but the way that it was all kind of built, I thought there was a lot of little things that I feel like they chose everything they chose was a good choice. Is how I feel about it. Like it may not have been the absolute best or the most unique, but everything they did was like, yeah, that's what you should have done there. Like even down to the part where he goes into the cooler to get meat or whatever, and he comes out and the camera's like clearly on like a cart, and it's like you're like watching it walk through the hall. I just thought like that was like, oh man, it could have been so much more boring than that, and that's what I meant. And so they did a lot of little things to make it just a little more flavorful. They served you up
Nice.
a delicious, flavorful meal. But
Nice
where are you
choice of
staying, Josh?
words.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say that I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'd heard pretty good things from it. It'd gotten a little bit of buzz when it dropped on Hulu, and then it kind of, with all streaming things, it kind of just gets buried very quickly.
It's weird, isn't it? It sucks.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the beast. When you don't have something like perpetually playing and being talked about, then
that's
things move on very quickly.
That's what I meant. I mean, it just sucks for when a movie that in my opinion, is of a, I wouldn't say high caliber, but it's definitely not garbage.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good movie when it comes out, and it just drowns in the sea of actual garbage. Even though I prefer low budget movies more often than not, I like this, man. This movie was great, and it's not like high budget by any stretch of the word, but it was a well made, clearly had some money behind it, got a good actor in it. I thought they had good camera work, good music. The music in this movie, bro, come on, dude. The music, every single bit of music in this movie was perfect. What's up, Adam?
I like the Danny Brown at the very end.
Bro, oh, that was Danny Brown?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a distinctive voice.
I don't even know that I like registered the song.
It's for Josh and Hugh that probably don't know who that is. He's
I know.
When the friend, you know, because he's on YMH.
Yeah, I know who he is, but I don't listen to his music.
But yeah,
sing a little.
You mean you don't like Danny Brown's music? I can
sing a little for us so we can recognize it.
he just got a crazy voice. It's just very.
He sounds like this all the time, but cooler.
I mean,
but like that kind of voice.
If you listen to his podcast, he kind of raps like that.
Yeah, he's very animated.
But it was at the very end. Well, toward the end, whenever the bartender guy was trying to find the other chick, and he was going through in the car and was like, I'm out of here. He was listening to Danny Brown.
You're right.
I noticed
I was trying to figure out where it was at. You're right.
I made a comment. I was like, "That's the music he's listening to," because I thought it was terrible.
It was pretty wacky, yeah, but it was getting it. I mean, it was pretty wacky though.
Yeah, I mean,
dude,
Danny Brown's definitely like his own little thing that kind of takes some getting used to if you get into it. I really like him. I mean, definitely the first time I heard him, I was like, "What the hell is this guy? Like, this dude sounds insane."
No, that's one that I'm just gonna pass on, dude. I don't like. I like him as a person. I like listening to him talk about stuff. I think he's pretty interesting. And I've been watching that guy on stuff for, dude, a long time. Like longer than I've known you guys. I've I've known y'all for quite a while now. But like, I knew about him when he was young. Had like 4 missing teeth. Like, you know. And
he's been around a while now.
Yeah, he's been around quite a while. But I like him more as a personality than a musician, personally.
I was actually going to say the only thing I didn't like about this movie was the music.
Really?
Like every time,
it's super subjective. So
every time they go to like a montage of him like making a meal or something. It's like some like 80s glam rock or something. I was like, I'm not.
So okay,
not feeling
that music isn't even what I was really enjoying. But I thought it was well placed. I do think they made some reasonable choices. I liked the actual music that was in the movie. There was a bunch of the like synth stuff going on. But but I think I'm kind of weird about my music and like that stuff. I don't like it, but it gives me like it just felt right. I think is what it was. It was more. I wasn't like I want to go by the soundtrack. More so, I just enjoyed what they did. I thought they did it right because it wasn't like necessarily good. It was kind of cheesy, but I thought it might be intentional. I don't know. It is weird. I'm not at all surprised you didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, it was kind of hit or miss to me. It had some good choices, but some corny choices.
Richard Marx in there.
But
I made like 4 different comments about the music while I was watching it, and I really think the music was spot on. But not necessarily meaning that you're going to like the song, but that it fit with the movie. I mean, this movie is so crazy, and it's such a mildly, I don't know what to call it. Like it just felt mild, but the stuff that's happening is so bananas. Like it's so crazy.
Yeah, I think that was kind of I liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would, but I think my main gripe was it kind of didn't. It was serious but silly. Like it kind of didn't really know what it wanted to be. That I would prefer something is either be serious or be silly. That's kind of partly why like Marvel movies I think suck these days because. Even if you're trying to do a halfway serious storyline, it's always going to have that stupid, silly stuff in it that they just kind of leaned more into. And I felt this a little bit. It felt a little Disney.
Really? Nah. There is. I mean, yes, but like, I don't know. I disagree with that. I don't think it felt that way at all.
It didn't like. It definitely was a little, raw for. I
thought it was very much intentional. I don't think that I thought that they were intentionally making like a comedy more so than like I didn't think any of it was taking itself that serious other than maybe the girl that was in peril. But that's why they added like I think that Sebastian Stan's character is supposed to be kind of out of his mind. Like it's a subtle, it's a subtle like, dude. Because I mean, what does him in, right? His arrogance, like his arrogance. He's so ridiculously arrogant that he thinks that this is happening. In what world is that woman gonna be like that with you, bro? And it's just like, I think it's kind of like a mad scientist type, because he's like clearly brilliant. He's clearly a good cook. He's clearly smart, but then he has this like part of his brain that just will not. It just doesn't quite get there, and it's just. I mean, dude, like I don't know. Oh, I forgot to handcuff you. It's like, bro, tripping.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's a little bit of his arrogance that just assumes that she's actually into him. It's like, come on, like you can't be that stupid. But
well, that's what I love about it, because he is that stupid. Or I love about the movie, not him. But I like that. This is one of the few movies like this that has an ending like it has, that I actually was like, all right, that was cool, man. I dig the ending. Because you know me, I'm usually much more macabre, and I want the more gnarly endings. But this one I thought was cool because, I mean, you know, what's the final girl if there's no final girl, I guess. So it's cool to have the ending the way it is. And
I think they earned the ending.
I think they earned the ending. I do like. There was like a lot of dialogue that I liked, and a lot of delivery that I was really interested in. Hugh, was there anything specific about that part of the movie that you enjoyed?
Yeah, the delivery. There was one line and specifically.
Hey, move the mic up a little closer to you.
There was one line specifically. He goes, "I'm going to cook for you. I'm actually a really good cook. I'm going to keep you alive as long as I can." And he's saying this with a straight face, just like they're having dinner, and he's like, you know, it's just wacky. Kind of like what you described. He's a little crazy. He's out there. He's just totally disconnected from the situation. I guess because he's a psychopath, but yeah, the delivery of the lines. I thought he was the perfect guy for this movie. So
yes,
it was great.
Yeah,
I felt like this was. I'm sorry, Josh.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, I thought him as an actor. I think he's a good actor, but he really showcased it really well.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going to be able to bring to the table that I'm going to personally find more enjoyable than this. I think that this was it like made me want to watch more of his movies, and I think that this was like a distant cousin to Patrick Bateman. It felt very American Psycho to me.
I got another line. He goes,
I don't believe you, sir.
He goes, "Don't worry, I'm not going to drug you again."
Oh, that part, dude! I was like, "Oh, that's disrespectful." Like, dude, when they're sitting down to eat, and she's like, take a bite. She's like, "Is it?" I didn't know what she was going to say, and then she goes, "Me," and I was like, "Oh, that would be so gross." And then he just looks at her, and he just waits a minute, and he gives her that smile, and then he goes like this, and he goes, "No," like he's disappointed, and I was like, "Oh, bro, you're so out of your mind." Yes, dude, this movie was awesome.
Yeah, I
would want to watch it again.
Yeah, just everything he told her, even from when she first got captured. Just how do you not think that she's mad at you or is holding this against you, or like how can you be that just dense or egotistical, whatever it is?
So I was thinking about that, and I watched it. I said 2 times, 1.5. The second time I watched it, I just fast forwarded to like the first 45 minutes of it to where you're getting to know everybody, because you don't need that part in the second viewing. And I think that he was really thinking like, okay, I've got this woman, right? But if I save her from yourself, and it's like, if I save her, she'll come to really care and be like, oh, he's sympathetic to my situation, or empathetic, whatever the right word is. And he just has the screw loose, and I think that's what makes this whole character. I mean, bro, if I had a woman in captivity, there is not a chance. That's Megan, by the way, Adam. Not a chance that I would take my pants off around her. Not even like a little chance. Not even a little one, dude. Like
they had a connection, though. I feel like, and that's what was noted in the movie as. You know, from the get-go, they had a little spark and a little chemistry and a connection, and it felt normal and real to her, which is why she was sort of so duped by it. And, you know, there was a couple references like the magazine where she read the words, and it was like, you know, if you're reading this, he really cares about you, so use it, you know? So there, as much as he was crazy, he still thrived on the fact that there was a connection between them. I think so.
Well,
Yeah.
I like when he tells her, he's like, you know how I knew you were special, and she's like, how? He goes, you're fucked up too.
Exactly.
And I was like,
bring up, yeah.
And I thought, oh man, and I think that he thought she was, and really she's just kind of an introvert. She's not really fucked up. She's just like
playing him,
kind of particular, you know. I mean, I'm just talking about in her everyday life. She wasn't like a crazy person. She was just kind of particular, and she had bad luck, just like all of us, you know. I mean, she was going through the garbage dating apps. I mean, how happy were you to be married watching this movie? I'll tell you what, I was thrilled. But like, I mean, I was just like, thank goodness, man. I there was nothing that I liked less than dating, man. Like, I was just not into that, man. I would, ugh.
That was my Letterboxd review. I was like, I'm really glad I'm not dating anymore.
Man.
Yeah, especially in the age of all the apps and all that stuff.
Oh my God.
I'm glad I never had to do that.
Yeah.
I did it for a short while, and I was like, this is not fun. I had a friend, or actually a roommate, R.I.P. Cody. I never met anybody that had as much promiscuous sex as this guy did. When Tinder dropped, bro, I think it was Tinder. No, dude, he was on Plenty of Fish, bro. And he would tell me,
hookup app.
Dude, he would tell me, I'm like, hey, what are you doing tonight? He's like, going fishing. And for like weeks, I didn't know what he meant until I came across the app, was like looking on it. I was like, man, this is crazy, dude. And then I was like, wait a minute, are you on this app? And he's like, yeah, what'd you think I meant? I'm like, man, I didn't know what you were talking about, bro. And I didn't really know what the app was. He's like, yeah. And then I realized, I was like, wait a minute, have all those girls been from that app? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, bro, in like 2 weeks, I guarantee you he brought over like at least a dozen girls.
That was the hookup app. Like, you knew if you met them on Plenty of Fish, that was the only thing they wanted.
Man, it was crazy. And I mean, and to just put some context out there, this guy's got 3 kids with 3 different women, all right? This wasn't super abnormal to him. I just
probably more now.
Play on.
Bro. Well, I mean, he died and left 3 kids with no I mean, you know, he's massively irresponsible guy, and also ruined my credit for 7 years. So, you know, R.I.P. Cody, but if I could punch you in the head, I would. Yeah, dude. But he also played guitar in my band. We were really good friends, actually. Yeah, you know, but yeah, dude, I couldn't do all that right now. This movie was amazing. Like, I loved the grocery store scene, because I've done that. Like, I've said something goofy, gotten some attention, and met some cute girl in the grocery store. Shoot, that's kind of how I met Carissa. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we happened to work in a grocery store, but it was in the same setting. And I just thought everything about this movie was done well. You know, clearly I like the kind of actress that was in this movie, you know, plain brunette. I'm interested in those kind of females as far as the physical looks go, but I don't know. This movie was awesome.
Ever being like, oh, that's a nice piece of fruit there, and by the way, you're gonna get your phone number. Like, I was like, bullshit. Like,
you don't talk to people, Hugh.
Yeah, he says that. He says that, but it works. Like, I guarantee you, it works. It is super dumb. I agree. I'm not saying it's cool, but
I've said some dumb shit and it's worked out. But man,
yeah. Grocery stores are the best places because they're not strip clubs. And they're not at a bar. Like, I don't want to meet a woman at a
strip club, man.
Bro, it's not hard. Whatever.
Probably on Plenty of Fish.
All that is the internet strip club. But no,
similar grocery stores.
But I think that the grocery store thing worked because of the dating apps. Like, she finally had a face-to-face interaction with a genuine looking dude. You know.
Yeah,
she gets that D pic immediately. She's like, oh yeah,
hey, what's up? Dog.
Yeah,
cute dog.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny, bro.
How you like this fruit?
Oh man, yeah. What's more corny, talking to some girl at a fruit section, or showing her your dick, and you know, after the first 3 sentences that you spoke together over an app, dude? How do people have the courage to do that? Like, if I was John Holmes, I wouldn't do that. Like, I just don't.
How many dick pics do you have to send before that works on somebody?
Probably 3 or 4.
3 or 4, that's it?
At least.
Dude, I had your mom joke in the chamber, and I just didn't do it because I love you guys. But yeah, dude, I know it's so. I mean, like 1,000, and then some lonely big girls like, oh, sure, come over. Here's my address. You're like, oh, geez. I mean, you get an address from a person by doing that. Well, you better be ready to get catfish like a motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah, that's another thing that the apps do that sucks, dude. Is catfishing exists because of the stuff like that. Like, yeah, yeah, man. I guess Chris wasn't super impressed, but the more I watched the movie, the more I enjoyed it. I actually think I rate this one like way higher than y'all probably.
Yeah. I liked it enough. I'm glad we watched it.
Yeah,
because I probably wouldn't have watched it otherwise. Because, like you said in the beginning, it just.
Well, I brought it up a while back, and I don't think you didn't seem very interested in it when I brought it up.
I mean,
I talked about it a little while back.
Yeah, I remember you bringing it up, and I was like, okay, I might check it out, but just like you said, streaming stuff comes and goes so fast that it just kind of got forgotten about, and I probably wouldn't have gone back and watched it if we hadn't done the show.
Well, that's why I had to write things down, man, for that exact reason, because I'll never remember it. Yeah. If it's not something that's got like, if it's got Nick Cage in it, even then I got stuff that I wrote down. Oh yeah, I need to watch that movie with him because it's just hard to keep up with everything. There's so much.
I don't really go to Hulu much either. Like,
I hate Hulu, to be honest with you. I don't like it.
Third or fourth pick. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big Hulu fan at all. I was thinking about it. Kind of falls in line with what we're talking about. I was listening to Lil Wayne, the Carter 2 earlier today because I was listening to a podcast they were ranking Lil Wayne albums, and it just kind of got me nostalgic, and I was like, oh man. And so I went back and listened to it, like half of it, and I was thinking about all the times back in, like, let's say 2006 and then earlier, right, where you'd get an album from an artist and most of, if not all of the album was enjoyable, right? Because there was just so many fewer people to choose from. Now there's so many artists to choose from that they're not interested in giving you a quality album anymore. They're just giving you a quality snippet, and then you get the song. The song's not even all good. And I think that's kind of the way it is with movies, man. There's just so many movies to pick from now that if it's not something that's just very striking or somebody that you know and love, a director you follow or an actor you really follow, it comes out and then it's just on to the next, man. And it's really hard to keep up with this stuff.
Yeah.
There's
music's killing me like that right now, man. I'm working on some video stuff some ideas that I've gotten. This demonetization thing might actually, it sucks. It hurts. It's a lot of money I'm going to be missing this month, but it might turn out for the better. I don't know. I'm really irritated by it, but it is what it is. Ain't nothing I can do about it. Yeah, but we'll see. But yeah, I think that movies it's a little saturated right now. But.
Oh yeah, all the streaming services are way oversaturated. That stuff is.
With Tubi's giving you originals, like, bro.
I mean, it's unsustainable. No, all of these things are not going to last. You're going to see a bunch of them fold.
I think Netflix is on the way out.
Oh, really? I don't know about Netflix.
Yeah, man. Their stuff they're doing is crazy wacky, man. It's doing nothing but pissing people off. I don't have a problem with anything that they've changed, but people are like, you won't let me send my password to my grandmother in another state and let her steal your service? I'm pissed off. I'm going to cancel it anyways then. The whole sharing thing with people that don't live with you blows my mind that people are upset by that. But they're putting their foot down. Yeah. It's just like people that use VPNs.
Like $9 a month or something. Now it's like $19 a month though.
Yeah, but they're also giving you a lot of stuff they didn't used to give you. I mean, I'm not saying that I want to pay for Netflix. I don't personally use Netflix, but I understand their gripe. I get it. They're offering you a product and you're not supposed to be giving it to people. It's kind of like the VPN thing. Like whenever somebody's going to figure that out one day that's actually stealing, and they're going to buckle down on that somehow, I would think. I don't know, maybe not. I don't really care, honestly, but every time I hear about it, I'm like, man, they don't gripe about that at all. Like, that's crazy to me. But anyways, yeah.
Less they can do about that.
Yeah. Well, they're already trying to stop the password sharing, and I mean, you shouldn't share your passwords. I mean, I don't care if you do it or not. I'm not saying that I haven't done it. I'm just saying that it's against the rules. It's stealing. Yeah. So,
I don't pay for Netflix. I I use someone else's.
You do whatever you want. I don't care. I don't use Netflix 'cause I don't like Netflix very much. But
yeah, I use it like once a month.
That's what. Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from because I don't think it's worth paying for either. That's what they should do. They should just say, hey, we're not going to let you guys share your passwords anymore, but we're also going to improve the content because then people would be like, oh, well, then I'm interested in if it's worth having. But that's the problem. If you're giving people a subpar product, they're not going to want to pay for it.
Yeah, what they do is they're just pumping out tons and tons of stuff, and they're spending tons of money on it. But it all drops at once, and it gets buried immediately by the next thing that they drop the next day. You know, it's like,
and they all want the original content. It's a Hulu original, it's an HBO original, it's a Netflix original.
Because they want that's their draw. Like you have to come to them.
Right.
Yep. Well, that's the whole, and it's like, man, at some point you're not going to be able to create an original that's good enough for me to want to pay for your service. Like if Netflix was bringing stuff like Breaking Bad to the table, I'm willing to pay $20 a month for that.
So that's where Breaking Bad blew up.
That's what I'm saying. Netflix. Like, you know, but if they're going to bring us stuff like Wednesday, I don't think there's anything wrong with Wednesday, but it's not worth me paying all that money for.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What? That's just the latest thing that I could think of. That's the latest thing that I could. Wait, what?
It was so good. No, I hear you, man. It was.
I mean, it was all right. I wasn't hating. It was just the latest thing that was popular I could think of. I just was thinking like, what was the latest thing that I could? That was a Netflix original, but like, you know,
I was there was something I watched not too long ago that nobody watched, and I thought was pretty damn good, especially for a Netflix original.
What?
Pale Blue Eye with Christian Bale.
Yes. I've been like,
forgot about that movie.
I thought
I watched that.
I think you did. I think I saw you review.
Yeah,
it.
I think you did, Hugh.
It was pretty
Christian
awesome.
Bale movie.
Yeah,
I love Christian Bale, and I love. Go ahead.
That was the Edgar Allan Poe slant one, right? Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Is I love Christian Bale and I love Edgar Allan Poe stuff, and I still like 2 days ago, Crystal was like, "You want to watch?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm good." Pass.
It is a little slow. So
well, dude, you want to know the reason why I passed on it? It's kind of hilarious. Because I was like, is that the Netflix movie? And she goes, yeah. And I said, nah, I don't want to watch a Netflix movie. Yeah. That was like my whole reason for not wanting to watch it. Yeah. And I've heard it was pretty decent.
I usually do the same thing. It's like, oh, it's Netflix. I don't care.
I'm like, is it Netflix? Did Michael Bay make it? I'm good. Like,
well, if I was heartbroken with Hellraiser coming out on Hulu. I was like, oh, no.
Right. Yeah, we got lucky that was pretty good.
Well, usually if it's an original of something, it means all the big studios didn't want it. So it's probably not that good.
Wait, is that what that means?
In a lot of cases,
really
is
never really thought about it like that.
A big studio didn't want it enough to, you know, give it whatever budget it needed or something like that. But you know, Netflix or Amazon or whoever can say,
"Damn, bro, I never even thought about it like that."
Yeah, I'll give you $20 million. You can make this thing, and you know, it's maybe made on a lower budget than they originally wanted to, but
but they can make the movie, yeah.
And so you get a subpar product.
Okay,
I think.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I definitely can't argue it.
A lot of legit filmmakers would prefer to have their movies go to theaters, but when they run into roadblocks, they end up going to Netflix.
Yeah, on the flip side of that coin, make a product that's better, and the big studios will give you the money.
Yeah,
I just play devil's advocate. When I thought about the originals, I was always thinking that they were like shopping for stuff to make originals, not that the other studios didn't want it for some reason. That's interesting. I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, the Pale Blue Eye was good.
I might give it a watch just because now I feel kind of like a jerk.
It could have been in theaters. I think it was a bit of a slow burn, so not everybody is going to like it. You know, it's not going to be the big, I don't know, stupid Chris Pratt movie or, you know, whatever action.
Hey, what's wrong with Chris Pratt?
But it was a solid movie.
Dude, yes, that's pretty accurate, actually, Adam. Going to Netflix is like going straight to DVD.
Yeah,
you know,
TV movies.
Yeah.
Most of them are TV movies. Like they're the trashy stuff they.
Yeah. Oh, Adam, you might like this, dude. You know what? Is there anything else we want to talk about with Fresh?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Would y'all give it as far as like a rating? Did anybody even think that far?
I gave it like 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I was thinking 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I don't even want to tell you mine then.
I think I pretty much agree with Chris's gripes. Like there was moments where it felt TV movie ish, like the girl's friend and the whole bartender thing. They're like there was times like that where it like leaned into like soap opera ish.
It felt like Get Out.
I did like how,
but I enjoyed it more.
I did like how he just noped out of there though. Like you were thinking that maybe he was going to come in and
no, that was pretty good.
He just went, nope, I'm out of here. I thought that was
seen this movie before. That was awesome.
Yeah, but just to have one more gripe, I guess, is I always hate how in so many horror movies, like you have a fight with the villain or whatever, and you beat him, you kind of subdue him or whatever, and they just run away. It's like, no, give him a few extra stabs, hit him a few more times with that meat cleaver. Like, don't just hit him once and then just leave. Like, they beat him like 3 or 4 times before she actually like got the gun from him and shot him in the head. It's like what? You essentially knocked him out like 3 other times and you could have finished him off, but no, you just ran away. Like, no, finish him off.
Yeah, I could say after the initial bite, I would have been finished off. I don't think I would have run.
There's no getting up from that.
Dude,
I'm with you on that one.
I was thinking like how bad that would hurt.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna let her go at that point.
you win.
I have nothing left to live for anyway.
Oh man, I mean, if that part of me is gone, not trying to, yeah, dude, like Adam says, the zombie land.
I'm grabbing some ice and driving to the hospital. Can we set this baby back on real quick?
Prime Directive 1. Primary concern.
Like, what are you in for? You're like, my dick. You're like, you just got this big giant blood spot in your pants. You're like, what do you think I'm here for? You're like, I'm not here for a fucking checkup.
Can you save it, Doc? Can you save it?
Yeah, it felt like she went all. Was that woman's Lorena Bobbitt on that fool?
Yep.
How
shocking!
It did feel like it felt like it had a lot of parallels with Get Out. To me, I am not really a fan of Get Out. I do recognize how good of a movie it is objectively. I think I just need to rewatch that one. I'm not a big Jordan Peele fan. Like, I think out of all his movies, the one I liked the best was Nope.
I think he's a bit overrated. But
I think that's.
I like Nope and Get Out.
I mean, I like Get Out. I guess I don't know, man. Everybody says it's this masterpiece, and I guess I just don't get it, man. I understand the message is probably more important to me than the actual film. Even like, I don't know. Well, it is pretty scary though. People taking over people. I don't know.
I see it pop up on like best of the decade, not even necessarily decade, like just best horror movies of all. It was on like best horror movies of all time list. Like,
that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is I don't understand that ranking.
I mean, one, like, kind of early to call all that stuff, but still, like, is it really going to live on and be one of the best 100 horror movies of all time?
I mean, I don't think there's any time that you can say it's too early for that. If somebody thinks that, they think that. But 10 years on the road, is it going to change? Possibly. I just don't understand. I think that if that movie was made by a white dude and it was the exact same movie, I don't think it would get near the praise. And that might be a hot take. I don't know. I just feel like
I think it does give it a certain authenticity of who it's coming from, and I think that kind of adds to it. But it's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie.
No. I definitely haven't said that it's a bad movie. I just don't understand all the hype.
Yeah, I agree. It's a bit overrated. That's what you're saying.
Yes, that's all I'm saying about it. I think I even have a copy of it. I don't hate the movie. It's sometimes there's a lot of movies like that where you watch them and everybody's loving the movie to a point where you're like, I guess, like, that's how I feel about it. Kind of not like, no, it's not like Aquaman or anything, but
it's better than Aquaman.
A little bit. I wish I had Jason Momoa in it though.
I think it had been built up so much by the time I watched it that it was like, all right,
I'm with you on that. I think that happened to me too because
I think if I walked into it blind, I would have been like, whoa, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, good. That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna have a movie for next week, so we'll wrap up here in a minute. Adam, check it out, dude. I got 2 municipal waste tapes and a Killswitch Engage tape today, and then I bought some black metal albums for the shop. I don't want them, but and I bought Norma Jean, not black metal, of course.
So that's not black metal.
Not any better than black metal. And then I found these. And this is for me. Yeah, let's go. But I saw this and I thought of you like legitimately, Adam. I was like, this fool would probably like this stuff. I don't like it. Actually, you don't really like black metal. You like death metal more. I don't know. It's all the same shit to me, which is gonna probably irritate you that I said that, but it is what it is. There's something else I was gonna say and I can't remember what it was, so never mind. But awesome. Anybody watch anything else this week?
I watched a bunch of stuff. I'll let somebody else go first, though.
I watched Have you any of y'all seen The Beach before?
No, I haven't.
It's been a long with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time, but I watched it a while back.
Yeah, I watched that last night.
What'd you think?
It was one of the few like Danny Boyle movies I hadn't seen. Man, I didn't really like it.
I thought it was pretty good when I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's partly dated.
Yeah,
I don't think it holds up today very well.
Okay,
but I don't think it was that great either.
Okay,
I don't know.
Danny Boyle, you're disappointed.
Yeah, because I think he's really good. Like I think Shallow Grave and Trainspotting and a few of his other movies are very good.
Well, it is the same Trainspotting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like his big Hollywood first Hollywood. Yeah, Sunshine's great. But it was his first collab with Alex Garland. Alex Garland wrote the book.
That's true. Okay, I forgot that was Alex. That was really before Alex Garland got popular.
Yeah, he was just a novelist.
He was a writer. Yeah, he was a writer before he started doing movies.
Yeah, so that was his first thing with Alex Garland. So that's another reason I wanted to see it.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
I could see where the story was going, and I've heard that the story is a lot darker. So,
like in book form.
Yeah, so I'm kind of interested to read the book actually, but
yeah,
the movie kind of it felt like Hollywood kind of shaved all the rough edges off of it, and
that's no good.
DiCaprio, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It was kind of cheesy. It was kind of corny, but it's
That's disappointing. I've never seen it.
It's one of those ones.
I think I was kind of feeling how you feel about it. I was just like, okay, that's a movie.
Yeah. Tilda Swinton, super young in the movie.
Oh dang, Tilda Swinton. I forgot she was even in that.
I think that was like one of her first big movies too.
All right.
I watched Hugh mentioned him last week, but I started watching the Evangelion anime movies. Well, their movies are remakes of I guess what was originally a series.
Okay.
The first one was pretty good. I was like, okay, I'll continue on with this. The second one was like, okay, that one's a little bit better. Like, cool, yeah, I'm in. And then the third one just sucks. But it's still all super cool, fun to look at. Machines fighting machines. It's just kind of dumb fun.
There's a fourth one.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to it yet.
It's kind of Studio Ghibli feeling like.
I'll watch it.
There's a little more emo, nature kind of shit in there, but it's good too.
This shit makes no sense. I mean, I'm assuming the series maybe makes more sense, but
I love stuff that doesn't make sense.
Josh would hate it because it's just nonsense on nonsense on nonsense. They don't explain anything. They just, this is the thing, and the thing happened, and then this thing happened. It's like, okay, sure.
That's awesome.
I think it's a little too techy for Randy too, probably, but
well, that's fun. That sucks. I'm working on an Asian movie buffet right now. I just have a bunch of stuff from that part of the world I'm fixing to watch again and review some of. I'm fixing to finally refilm the Full Metal Yakuza, Wild Zero reviews, and then finally got my copy of Decision to Leave. I picked up a movie called Junk. I don't remember why I bought it, but I bought it, so I'm going to watch it. There was a reason why I bought this one, and I can't remember what the reason was.
That's the review of the movie right there.
Yeah, that's the review of the movie. So hope you enjoy it, folks. And then I'm probably watching this as soon as we're done with this. I'm gonna watch the Project Wolf Hunting, and this is gonna be. I'm so freaking pumped for this terrible movie. I cannot wait to watch it. So, but
I like those hunting movies. I got like a girl hunter, sex hunter, wolf hunter. That's
man's the sex hunter.
Those are your movies, you.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. I don't know. I was thinking we could resume maybe like week after my birthday. Give me a few weeks to kind of just chillax. My birthday's in 2 weeks and 2 days. So 3 weeks from now. What do y'all think? Sound good to y'all?
Whatever.
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll text a movie here in a day or two. Let me just kind of figure out what I think might, be appealing to the whole group of us. I feel like we'll all be a little bit more ready to hang out on film again after a couple of weeks. Breaks
Before we
probably
go.
good. Yes, sir.
I watched Berserk.
Oh,
1997 Berserk.
Okay. I was like trying to remember what that was. Was it good?
There's a series on YouTube. It's free. Man, it is amazing.
I remember liking it.
I was when it was done. I was like, "There's nothing else. I can't watch anything else this weekend."
Wait, what is it? It's called Berserk on YouTube.
Well, it's Berserk on YouTube.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I meant. So it's a show.
It's like an old anime. It was a manga originally, like from the
early 90s. Got you. I misunderstood.
It was adapted into a show. Kind of like Ninja Scroll or something, right? And they made a whole. It's like 26 episodes. They're like 20 minutes, 25 minutes a piece. 5 minutes are the opening and closing songs. So you got 20 minutes of meat there. But man, they do a lot. It's a very complex story. Lots of like iconic characters. Like you'll start to notice, like, oh, this guy was in this video game and that video game. Like they've spun off this series in so many different ways. It's like I'd say a pivotal kind of reference point for anime from that point on. It's incredible. But the writer of the series died like somewhat prematurely before the series was finished. So, and then that specific, I guess, world, they call it like the golden age. And then it goes on to other ages. Like of the series, this specific one is the best one of the ages. But man, I mean, it is really something. So I highly recommend that to everybody.
Yeah, I wanted to get back into. I remember watching it when I was a kid. I think I picked up like some DVDs or something way back in the day because it was getting a bit of buzz, like when I was in high school or something like that. Because it's pretty brutal and bloody and all that, isn't it? I was like, that sounds cool. As high school me was into that, and I remember liking it, but that was so long ago. I don't.
They just don't still have those DVDs. They'd probably be worth some loot.
Maybe. But they redid it, didn't they? Because I saw you bought something, didn't you? Was that the
I bought the Blu-ray because my kid was telling me about it, and I was like, "Look what I got!" And he was like, "Oh, that's the remade, the reboot." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And we started watching it, and I was like, "This is cool, isn't it?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" So we started watching the YouTube one, and I was
that's
like,
amazing.
"Oh, I see now." Like, and
dude,
it starts
just want to just choke your kid because making you feel like a dork.
But yeah, the Blu-ray is like a continuation of the series, but it is done years later. It's not as good. It's not true to the manga. But hey, if you need to continue on the quest of Guts and Griffith, you can dig into that.
There you go.
You're cool.
Well, I will make a post. I know Hugh wants to get out here pretty quick. Job interview in the morning, so good luck with that, by the way.
Thank you.
I'll make a post what we're watching here in the next few days. I'll just figure I'm not in any big rush. It's going to be a few weeks. So thanks for everybody hanging out with us, man. We'll be back with episode 124, hopefully in the next few weeks, man. So if y'all have any suggestions or anything, hit me up, and I'll start making a little list of things that y'all want us to watch. And hey, I did like this. That means give me a minute, please. Go to your room. So yeah, give me like 5 minutes, please, bro. Like stop sign, no work in this house. I forgot what I was talking about. So see y'all later.